How did you first get into writing for film/video games?
Well, technically, the first film that I ever worked on was in college, and I was taking composition, and my last year of college, I took a music for film class. So I thought it would be interesting to score a student film. So I found a student who was writing a script for a film, and I said, hey, can I write the music for your film? And he said yes, and so I wrote about 8 cues, and he never made the film. So technically, that was my first film score. But before I graduated, a couple of my teachers encouraged me to move to Los Angeles and, give it a go in the entertainment industry. And so I moved to LA and pounded the pavement for a summer and landed a job at a studio and became pretty much an in-house composer for Mark Mothersbaugh for about 15 years, which is where I did the Crash and the Jack music. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So speaking about the Crash Bandicoot sort of music, I would personally like to know where did you draw your writing influences from when composing for that series?
Primarily, I try to look to the game for all inspiration. It's such a visually interesting thing that you're looking at, and it's a visceral thing when you're playing it. So I felt like I was able to get a lot of information just from the graphics and from how I felt when I played the works in progress. But, I was also listening to a lot of all kinds of music at the time, so it'd be hard to pinpoint exactly what, but it seems like I always go back to Jerry Goldsmith's Planet of the Apes score from the 60s. Amazing, still never get tired of that. I listen to, Kraftwerk, Pink Floyd, I could go on and on, but, I listen to a lot of music, and I'm sure it all filters through my system and then comes out
brilliant.
Unexpected ways.
Yeah, awesome. The next question is, how do you approach writing new material?
I think it really depends on the project. I mean, with these video game tracks, I was able to see, like I said, a works in progress, so I could kind of get a feel for the tempo, and maybe, I could, just based on the visuals, I could sort of pick out instruments that might feel appropriate to it. But for something like a film, it's a lot more, maybe subliminal. Like I'd watch a rough cut of the film and get, pay attention to the emotions or the characters and just try to think about the project in a little bit more gentle, holistic way rather than this super visceral, like it's a video game, Anyway, but it's a hard question to answer. But
no, thank you very, very much.
Sure.
And last but not least, of course, this is the Crash meets Jack extravaganza. So what I would like to ask is, what is your favorite tune from the Crash Bandicoot series that you have worked on?
Well, if we can go back to the beginning of the concert, the third part of the Crash medley where he jumps on the wild hog and gallops through the... when I wrote that piece of music, I felt like that was the first time where all of my clients, Universal Interactive and Naughty Dog, they all laughed at the same time, and it was the thing that gave me a little bit of relief that I wasn't going to get fired and that I was on the right track. So, sentimental reasons for Hog Wild. So, and you guys, really, that's the way it should sound.
Should we have a round of applause for our orchestra today? And can we also have another huge round of applause for our guest of the evening, Josh Mancell.